For those of you new to 3D modeling, let's start by defining some terms. Extrude describes the process of taking a two-dimensional profile and making it 3D by giving it some thickness. A simple example of this would be taking a circle and making it into a cylinder. The term boss, as used in SolidWorks, describes any piece of solid geometry. Think of a boss as the opposite of a cut or hole. The Extruded Boss begins with selecting the Extruded Boss base icon in the Command Manager, or selecting it from the Insert drop-down menu under Features. Next, select a plane to sketch on, called the Sketch Plane. Then create the two-dimensional sketch using the sketch tools you just learned. This sketch will serve as our two-dimensional profile. The shape of the sketch isn't important. Almost any sketch can be used to create an Extruded Boss. Once a sketch is completed, simply exit the sketch by using this icon here, or right-clicking and selecting Exit Sketch. Alternatively, you can also switch to the Features icons in the Command Manager and reselect the Extruded Boss base icon. All of these methods will lead to these settings in the Property Manager for the extrude. These are the properties of the Extruded Boss. The most obvious control we have here is this spin box that controls the depth of the extrusion. Here I can use the up and down arrows to specify a value for the depth. As I make adjustments, notice my preview continually updates. If I type in a value instead of using the arrows, I have to click somewhere outside the spin box in order for my preview to update, or press the Enter key on the keyboard. As I change the value for the depth, you may have noticed that the material was being added to the left side of the sketch. I can change that by using this button. I can also use this arrow as a handle to drag the material from one side to the other. As I do this, notice the value of the depth is also changing. These arrows, or drag handles as they're referred to in SolidWorks, can be helpful when you're working on a design concept. If you don't care about the exact depth, this is a quick and easy way to explore different scenarios. There are different end conditions you can use with Extruded Boss. Currently, the end condition is set to blind. Blind simply means I want to take my profile and extrude it in a single direction using a specified depth. Other end conditions can be related to surrounding geometry, such as up to vertex and up to surface. Next to blind, the most common end condition is midplane. This is similar to blind, except that material is added to each side of the sketch. When using midplane, the value for the depth represents the total depth. SolidWorks will take care of splitting half to each side. By default, an extrude will extend normal to the sketch it is based on. This option here, called Direction of Extrusion, will allow you to change the direction of extrusion based on the type of item input into this field. We'll skip this option for right now and return to it in the part lessons. If you have the need to add more material to one side of the sketch than the other, you can activate Direction 2. This allows me to specify a unique depth, or even a different end condition for each direction. There are a couple more options we'll take a look at in a moment, but for now, I want to finish the Extrude command. To accept these settings and finish the command, I can use the green check here, or here. I can also right-click in the graphics area and select OK. Finally, I can also press Enter on the keyboard. These four methods of finishing a command will be available with most features in SolidWorks. I'll be using one of the check marks so you can see what I'm doing, but any method you're comfortable with will work just fine. Take a look at the window on the left. It switched from the Property Manager for the Extrude to display the Feature Manager tree. Notice the feature Extrude 1 listed here. This represents the Extruded Boss I just created. Every feature you create as you build a part is going to be listed here. This is important because this list will give you access to features in case you need to make changes. For example, if I want to change the depth of this extrude, I simply right-click on it here in the feature tree and select Edit Feature. These are the settings I use to create the extrude. I can change the depth, press the check, and right away the change takes effect. By clicking the plus sign here, I can also see the sketch that was used in creating the extrude. If changes to the sketch are required, I can right-click on the sketch and select Edit Sketch. This brings me right back to the Edit Sketch mode, where I can make changes such as adding dimensions. When I exit the sketch, the changes take effect immediately. Another technique for making changes to dimensions is to simply double-click a face belonging to a feature. When I do this, all dimensions associated with the feature become visible. The black dimensions belong to the sketch for this feature, and the blue dimensions belong to the 3D feature itself. Once the dimensions are visible, I can double-click them and make changes. To update the model, I simply rebuild it by clicking the green light icon right up here.